Imagine paying, premium prices for a luxury Caribbean vacation, only to find yourself setting a 6 a.m. alarm just to get a dinner reservation.
Yeah, that is rough.
Right. Today, we're looking at a resort where the pool is an absolute masterpiece, but the beach might literally leave you stuck in the weeds.
Welcome to Resoria. Our mission on this channel is simple. We really want to help you figure out if a resort is actually worth your hard-earned vacation budget before you make that final booking.
And if you want honest resort reviews that help you travel smarter, hit that subscribe button and like this video.
Today, we are putting Sandals Royal Barbados under the microscope. It's an adults-only all-suite property in Oistins, right on the southern coast of Barbados.
Which sounds amazing on paper.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to break down exactly what you're paying for, what you actually get when you arrive, and, well, where the glossy marketing doesn't quite match the reality on the ground.
Because when you hear the phrase premium Caribbean vacation, your brain instantly conjures up like a certain level of scale and luxury.
Right, you expect a certain wow factor.
Exactly. And looking at the footprint of this place, it feels massive. But it's not just sprawling. It feels very intentionally built to impress the second you walk into the lobby.
The sheer scale of it is entirely by design. I mean, the resort opened in 2017, so it operates as the shiny, ultra-modern sibling to the original Sandals Barbados.
Which is sitting right next door, right?
Exactly.
Mm.
The design language here is very vertical, very contemporary. The atmosphere is frequently described by guests as playful but posh.
Playful but posh. I like that.
Yeah, you've got an upscale crowd, a lot of honeymooners, and plenty of couples celebrating major milestone anniversaries. But the physical location is what gives it a unique edge.
Oh, the walkability.
Yes, walkability is a massive plus here. You can literally walk from the resort to the St. Lawrence Gap, which is this fantastic, vibrant nightlife strip full of local restaurants and bars.
Which is genuinely rare for this tier of travel. Like
Yeah.
a lot of all-inclusive mega resorts essentially hold you hostage on a beautiful compound in the middle of nowhere.
Right, you're trapped behind the gates.
Yeah, and you have to arrange an expensive taxi or a guided tour just to see the real country. So it's refreshing to know you can actually step off the property and experience the culture of Barbados on foot.
It really is.
But here's the catch. You also don't really have to because of their stay at one, play at two rule.
That rule completely changes the dynamic of the trip. When you book a room at Sandals Royal Barbados, you are granted full, unrestricted access to everything at the older sister property next door.
So you get two for the price of one.
Basically, yeah. You are essentially doubling the physical footprint of your vacation without paying a separate entry fee. You can wander back and forth between the two properties as if they were one giant complex.
I have to play devil's advocate here, though.
Okay, go for it.
If I'm paying top dollar to stay at the shiny, modernized 2017 resort, why do I care about walking over to the older one?
That's a fair question.
I mean, aren't I paying a premium specifically to stay in the contemporary building? I don't want to spend my vacation hanging out at the older property.
Well, it's less about wanting to hang out in older buildings and more about how that access mathematically transforms your daily experience.
Okay, how so?
You aren't just getting a standard all-inclusive stay. You are unlocking a mega resort footprint without the typical mega resort overcrowding.
Ah, because the guests are spread out.
Exactly, because you can walk next door, your dining and entertainment options just explode. You suddenly have access to 21 restaurants, 14 bars, and 8 different pools.
Wow, 21 restaurants is insane.
Right. It spreads the thousands of guests out across 2 massive properties. Think of it like an open-world video game where you suddenly unlock a brand new map.
I love that analogy.
You get the modern, elevated luxury of your suite in the new building to sleep in, but the sheer variety of a small city right at your doorstep during the day.
So it's about having a quiet, luxurious home base while retaining the option to go find a lively crowd if you want one. That makes a lot of sense, especially if you're there for a full 7 or 10 days. And speaking of that home base, the way they handle the rooms here is pretty unique.
It really is. The sheer size of this property means you really need a private sanctuary to retreat to when you get overwhelmed.
And they deliver on that sanctuary concept by entirely eliminating the bottom tier.
Yeah, what's crucial to understand about Sandals Royal Barbados is that there are absolutely no standard basic rooms here. Every single one of the 338 rooms is classified as a suite.
That's a huge selling point.
It is. Even at the absolute lowest price point for this property, you are getting a private balcony or patio, a tranquility soaking tub for two, and a fully stocked mini bar loaded with premium spirits, wine, and local beer.
Okay, let's translate some of that marketing jargon for a second.
Sir?
Whenever I hear tranquility soaking tub, my skeptical brain just pictures a regular bathtub with a fancy brand name attached to it. What are we actually talking about here?
That's a very fair point. In this case, the soaking tubs are actually located outside on your private balcony or patio, tucked behind privacy curtains.
Though outside.
Yeah. It's a signature feature for their modern properties. It allows you to sit in a hot bath with a glass of champagne while looking out over the gardens or the ocean without feeling exposed to the rest of the resort.
Okay, that actually does sound like a premium upgrade. And the room categories only escalate from that baseline, right?
Oh, big time. You have the South Seas Club-level Junior Palm Suites, which are situated on the ground floor surrounded by really quiet, lush gardens.
Nice and peaceful.
Exactly. As you move up in price, you get into the Royal Seaside Ocean View Suites on the higher floors. But the absolute peak of the resort?
The ones you see all over Instagram.
Yes, the Sky Pool Suites.
Yeah.
These feature private, elevated, infinity edge pools right on your terrace, overlooking the ocean, with totally separate living and sleeping areas.
The architecture of those sky pool suites is just stunning. But the physical room almost takes a back seat to the level of service attached to it.
It really does.
If we really want to help someone decide if this resort is worth the money, we have to talk about the butler divide.
Ah, the butler divide. This is the invisible class system that operates behind the scenes at a lot of these luxury all-inclusives.
It is perhaps the most important dynamic for anyone planning a vacation here to understand.
Absolutely. At Sandals Royal Barbados, there are only two tiers of service, Club Sandals and Butler Elite.
And if you book the Butler Elite tier, the service is phenomenal.
We're talking high-touch, hyper-personalized luxury. Guests rave about their butlers packing personalized coolers with their favorite beers for the pool.
Which is such a nice touch.
It is. They secure the absolute best cabanas before the sun even comes up, and they bring you fresh towels and snacks throughout the day. It's someone anticipating your needs before you even verbalize them.
But if you just book the Club Sandals tier, which, let's be clear, is still incredibly expensive, the frontline service can be notoriously inconsistent.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate reality. One day you might have a wonderfully friendly bartender who remembers your drink order. Yeah.
The next day.
The next day you might encounter a hostess at a restaurant who is completely indifferent, or worse, outright dismissive when you ask for a table.
You are essentially looking at two entirely different resorts operating inside the exact same building.
It's exactly like flying first class versus premium economy on the same airplane.
I love that comparison.
You are physically traveling to the exact same destination, you know? You are eating food from the same galley.
But your moment-to-moment experience of the journey is vastly different because of how the staff is instructed to treat you.
That's the reality of the hospitality economics here. The butler tier operates as an insulation layer against service hiccups.
An insulation layer. That makes a lot of sense.
When you upgrade to Butler Elite, you aren't just paying for a bigger room or a better view of the ocean, you are paying for a human shield.
A human shield against vacation stress.
Precisely. You are buying consistency, peace of mind, and the luxury of never having to advocate for yourself.
Which is exactly what people want when they spend thousands on a vacation, like the ability to completely turn their brain off.
Exactly.
And since we're diving deep into your vacation budget today and exploring whether these upgrades are actually worth it, if you're finding this breakdown helpful, liking the video and subscribing lets us keep doing this for you.
Let's transition to the food, because the dining scene is where that butler insulation layer becomes absolutely critical.
Yes, let's talk about the food.
Having access to both properties gives you a staggering 21 restaurants to choose from.
The variety is insane. I mean, you could stay here for 2 full weeks, eat somewhere different every single night, and still not try everything on the property.
And the culinary highlights genuinely punch above their weight. Butch's steak and seafood is a major draw for dinner.
No, for sure.
There's Neptune's right on the beachfront doing Mediterranean seafood. You've got Chiar for Asian fusion.
Don't forget the daytime cravings.
Right. There is a dedicated donut and coffee shop called Sweet and Salties, and because of the sister property access, you can head over to Bombay Club for fantastic Indian cuisine.
The food quality. especially the sushi and the premium cuts of steak, consistently beats the typical mass-produced, all-inclusive buffet standard.
It really does. The quality of the food is a massive selling point, but it comes with a major glaring friction point.
Ah, here we go.
This is where the 6 a.m. alarm from the intro comes back to haunt us.
The reservation system.
Yes, the reservation system for these top-tier restaurants is a logistical nightmare for the average guest. We are seeing so many travelers complain that they literally have to wake up, leave their beautiful, expensive suite, and go stand in a physical queue early in the morning just to book dinner for that evening.
Wait, help me understand the math here.
Yeah.
If the resort has 21 different restaurants, how on earth is there a bottleneck?
It seems backwards, doesn't it?
Yeah. Shouldn't there be more than enough tables to seat every single guest at the resort simultaneously?
Well, it comes down to the illusion of choice and capacity management. Yes, there are 21 restaurants, but the most desirable ones, like Butch's Steakhouse or Chi, are actually quite small.
Oh, they're not massive dining halls.
No, they're designed to feel intimate and exclusive. If a restaurant only seats 40 people at a time, and they only do 2 main dinner seatings, they can only accommodate 80 guests a night.
Oh, wow.
Now multiply that limited capacity against thousands of hungry guests all wanting a premium steak at 7:30 p.m., the math guarantees that hundreds of people are going to be left scrambling.
And it gets exponentially worse if you aren't just a party of two.
Oh, absolutely.
Like if you are traveling as a group, say 3 couples celebrating a 40th birthday together, eating a single table for 6 at any of the premium restaurants is incredibly difficult.
Because the entire reservation system is heavily optimized to turn over tables of 2.
Which forces the guests into a stressful daily competition. I mean, if you are spending your hard-earned money on a relaxing tropical escape, you do not want to be treating your dinner plans like you're trying to buy concert tickets on Ticketmaster.
That is the perfect way to put it. And this circles right back to the economics of the butler elite tier.
This is the underlying why behind that massive price tag.
Exactly. When you have a butler, you never see that morning queue. You don't set an alarm, you sleep in.
That sounds glorious.
Your butler is the one waking up at dawn, navigating the scramble, leveraging their internal relationships with the dining staff to secure your 7:30 p.m. table at Butch's for 6 people, and then bringing you fresh coffee on your balcony.
They eliminate the friction.
Completely. If you are in the club tier, you're playing the Hunger Games at dawn. If you have a butler, the logistics are invisible.
But once you finally secure those dinner plans, you still have the whole day ahead of you.
Right, you have to decide where to spend your time. And at Sandals Royal Barbados, the choice between spending your day at the pool versus spending it at the beach is incredibly stark.
It's a tale of 2 entirely different water experiences. Let's start with the pools, because they are undeniably the absolute crown jewel of this resort.
Oh, 100%. Between the 2 properties, you have access to about 8 different pools, but the new Royal Barbados side has 2 specific architectural masterpieces.
Let's talk about the glass one first.
Yes, the Seaside Infinity Pool on the ground level. It features these gorgeous, massive glass walls, so if you are swimming underwater, you can see straight through to the ocean.
It visually just melts right into the horizon.
It does. But the real showstopper is the rooftop infinity pool.
Which, amazingly, was a complete first for the entire Sandals brand.
Yeah. It offers these spectacular, panoramic, elevated views of the ocean. It's surrounded by premium loungers and cabanas, and it just has this incredible, vibrant energy during the day.
It feels like a high-end beach club in Miami or Dubai.
It really does. And if you somehow get tired of the sun or you just want to break from the heat in the late afternoon, the resort also has a 4-lane bowling alley called Lover's Lanes.
A bowling alley inside a Caribbean resort feels like such a strange fever dream.
I know, it sounds bizarre, but it works brilliantly. It's completely air-conditioned, it's attached to a craft beer bar, pouring 19 different types of beer, and it's totally free for guests to book.
It's this wonderful, unexpected amenity that completely elevates the daytime and early evening experience when you're looking for something interactive to do before dinner.
Exactly. So the pools and the internal activities are a solid 10 out of 10. The resort has engineered a practically perfect daytime environment.
But then you walk past that beautiful glass-walled infinity pool. You step off the manicured property onto the actual sand of Maxwell Beach, and well, reality hits hard.
Yeah, the beach is the biggest gamble of the entire property.
Because of the seaweed, right?
Right. Maxwell Beach does have beautiful, soft, white sand, but the water itself can be quite choppy. The real underlying issue, however, is the sargassum seaweed.
It is a massive, highly unpredictable problem.
Very unpredictable. You might arrive on a Tuesday to find crystal clear turquoise water, and by Thursday you might find huge, thick, rotting mats of brown seaweed washing ashore, piling up on the sand, and creating a pretty unpleasant smell.
The natural assumption most travelers make when they see this is to blame the resort. You think, I paid thousands of dollars to be here. They have an absolute army of staff. Why can't they just clean the beach?
It's an understandable frustration, but this is entirely a geographic reality, not a resort management failure.
Right. It's an ecological issue.
Exactly. Sargassum blooms are a massive ecological event tied to warming ocean temperatures and shifting Atlantic currents. The resort staff absolutely try to fight it.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they are out there with shovels, pitchforks, and heavy tractors every single morning trying to clear the sand.
Which is wild to think about. You're trying to relax, and there's heavy machinery on the sand.
Right, but it's Mother Nature's tax on Caribbean geography. You just cannot outshovel the ocean. If the Atlantic current is pushing a miles-long bloom of seaweed toward the coast, it is going to keep piling up faster than any human crew can remove it.
That is such a vital piece of information for anyone booking a trip. It's essentially a roll of the dice based on the ocean currents during your specific week of travel.
It really is. The east, southeast, and south coasts of Barbados are fully exposed to these currents.
So what's the alternative for beach lovers?
If you are a true beach purist, someone who dreams of wading into perfectly calm, crystal clear, seaweed-free water, the south coast is a risky bet. The west coast of the island is much safer because it's naturally shielded from those Atlantic currents.
Okay, let's pull all these threads together. We have a perfect engineered pool experience, a totally unpredictable ecological situation on the beach, an incredible dining scene, and a service gap that can literally make or break your relaxation.
It's a lot to weigh.
Let's talk about the wallet drain. How much does all of this actually cost?
Well, pricing here varies wildly depending on the time of year you want to travel. Peak season runs from mid-December through mid-April, which aligns with the driest, most pleasant weather.
And low season.
Low season is June through November, which offers much lower prices but comes with a higher risk of rain and a significantly higher risk of sargassum seaweed.
Let's give people some mental anchors for these numbers.
Sure. For the Club Sandals suites, which, remember, is the lowest available tier at this property, you are looking at starting rates around $430 per person per night in the low season.
Okay, and in peak season?
In peak season, that exact same room jumps up to around $760 or more per person per night.
Wow. And if you want the human shield, if you want that butler to handle your morning dinner reservations and secure your cabana.
Butler Elite Suites generally start around $610 per person per night, and if you want those ultra-premium sky pool suites with your own private elevated infinity pool, those can easily soar well past $1,200 per person per night.
Let's contextualize those numbers. You're looking at roughly a $300 difference per night per couple between the club tier and the baseline butler tier.
Right.
Over the course of a 7-day vacation, that's an extra $2,100. Meaning you are effectively paying a $2,100 premium just to not have to wake up at 6 a.m. to book a restaurant and to ensure the bartender smiles at you.
When you put it like that, it sounds steep.
So where is the actual value sweet spot?
The sweet spot really depends on your personal tolerance for logistics. Objectively speaking, the best value on the property is the Club Sandals Ocean View category.
Why that one specifically?
You get elevated off the ground floor, you secure an incredible view, you still get the private soaking tub on your balcony, and you get access to the Club Sandals Concierge Lounge.
And just to clarify, the Concierge Lounge isn't just a desk in the lobby.
Oh, not at all.
It's a private air-conditioned lounge where you can do your check-in away from the crowds, grab premium snacks throughout the day, and get some dedicated assistance.
Right. By booking that Ocean View Club Suite, you avoid paying the massive $2,100 premium of the butler tier, provided you are perfectly willing to handle your own dinner reservations and fetch your own drinks at the pool.
That makes total sense for travelers who don't mind a bit of self-service. But obviously, those rates fluctuate constantly based on daily occupancy, seasonal promos, and the ever-changing booking algorithms.
Which is exactly why we highly recommend checking the Expedia link down in our video description.
Yeah, it's just the most practical way to compare real-time prices for your specific travel dates.
Right, you can check which room categories actually have availability and look at refundable booking choices.
Which is huge, so you can lock in a good rate while you finalize your PTO and your flights. It's a great tool to ensure you aren't overpowering.
Bringing all of these facts, numbers, and realities together, we have to answer the ultimate question for our viewers. Is Sandals Royal Barbados worth your money? Who is going to absolutely love this resort?
I think couples on a honeymoon or a milestone anniversary who decide to splurge for that Butler Elite tier will have the time of their lives.
Oh, completely.
If you have the butler handling the friction, you love a lively, energetic pool scene, and you want endless culinary options without ever having to leave the resort bubble, you will have an incredible time.
It's also perfect for repeat Sandals loyalists who love that modern, contemporary vibe and appreciate the ability to walk off property to the St. Lawrence Gap.
On the flip side, who should definitely look elsewhere?
First, anyone traveling with kids because it is strictly adults only. Second, highly budget-conscious travelers, simply because there is no true entry-level baseline tier to soften the price tag.
Right, it's premium from the ground up.
Exactly. Third, groups larger than 2 couples might want to steer clear because trying to get a dinner table for 6 or 8 people at these restaurants is an exhausting uphill battle.
And most importantly, anyone whose vision of a perfect vacation strictly requires a pristine, crystal clear, seaweed-free beach.
Yes. If you are a true beach purist, the south coast of Barbados is just too much of an ecological gamble.
Time for the personal verdicts. If you were planning your own trip right now with your own money, would you book it?
I would actually say yes, but with caveats. I would book it specifically for a foodie-focused, pool-centric vacation.
So the beach wouldn't bother you?
Not really. The rooftop infinity pool, the glass-walled seaside pool, the 21 restaurants, the bowling alley, that is a genuinely unique, highly engineered, all-inclusive experience.
Is that?
I'd accept the beach as a secondary visual feature, spend my time at the pool, and I would definitely budget for the butler tier to avoid the restaurant queue. What about you?
For me, it's a no. I am a beach purist at heart. If I am flying all the way to the Caribbean and spending thousands of dollars, I want to spend my days floating in crystal clear ocean water, not lounging by a pool worrying about whether a tractor has to plow rotting seaweed off the sand.
That's completely understandable.
I'd absolutely look for a resort on the west coast of the island instead.
It's a perfect example of why knowing your own travel priorities is so crucial before you hand over your credit card.
It is. And analyzing the dynamic between the butler tier and the club tier leaves us with a rather fascinating final thought to ponder.
It really does. As luxury, all-inclusive resorts continue to introduce these hyper-personalized, ultra-expensive butler tiers to subsidize their massive operational costs, they are essentially mirroring the broader wealth gap in society.
We travel to escape the stress of the real world. But are these resorts inadvertently turning relaxing vacations into microcosm class systems?
Where your ability to simply secure a dinner table is entirely dependent on which colored wristband you can afford to wear.
It definitely makes you look at that morning restaurant queue in a whole new light. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on this deep dive on Resortia. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.